Hiya, Martin here. Thank you for joining me for Turner's Journey episode 2. I hope you've all had a good week. I've had a really hectic week this week, which I will explain in a mo. But very quickly, first off, thank you very much for all of your responses and your comments and your likes to Turner's Journey episode 1 last week. Apologies, it was a little bit random, but this week I've made some notes, as I said I was going to. Yesterday, or last night, you would have seen that I posted a video about this wet cherry natural edge bowl, and I've had a couple of comments on the video already asking what stains I used. Well, I use chestnut stains, chestnut products, rainbow spirit stains. They're really good. They're about £16 I think, or £17 for a sample pack, and I think there's about 16 colours in there, and a little goes a long way. But I use a lot of yellow, so I've had to order the full size bottle, which is about 7-8 quid. So back to this bowl. We're going to keep an eye on this bowl to see what happens to it over time. Yes, the walls are a little bit thick, but I wanted them thick. That's just because who I am. There's blue in there, and there's red, and there's orange, and we're gonna keep an eye on it over the next few weeks to see its movement and how it dries. I haven't weighed it yet, stupidly. I'll have to do that later. But I want to see how the wet wood dries with stain in, and see if it's any different to my experience with dry wood. So that's that bowl there. It hasn't moved or changed overnight, thankfully. Also this week I've made experimental pieces really this week. This is a piece of English ash that was cut down last summer and has been sat on my lathe bed, or sat beneath my lathe, kind of drying off. I scorched it a little bit, as you can see. It's pulled out the grain pattern really quite nicely there, but also where I scorched it and the wood was still a bit wet, it started to check, which in a certain light is okay, but not ideal. So wet wood and scorching doesn't work. And again, there's my maker's mark on the bottom there. I also turned this little cherry dish at the beginning of the week. I think it might have been last Sunday, just to see again what kind of movement I get, and whether or not it cracks, which at the moment it hasn't. It's down to about 15% moisture, I think, or is it 12? 12 on this one. But where you've got the sapwood there, that has begun to sink a little bit, which is okay. I'm not worried about that, because some of the wet turnings I'm going to be doing, I want it to warp and twist and, you know, change its shape. And also this is some of the Lawson's cypress that you saw stacked up outside. This is down from 22% moisture down to 12, 15, something like that, and I turned this minutes after this one, so about a week. That's good. And I've also turned a whole load of bowl blanks like these, as you can see, stacked up behind me on the shelves, but also I've got some milled cedar of Lebanon, so I cut a few blanks out of those. These are 2 inches thick. I've got another board under there that's 3 inches thick, and there's this monstrous great 18 3/4 inch platter blank, which has got a lovely piece in it there. So I will definitely be doing a video about turning this, unless of course I sell it in the meantime, because I'm not precious. Although I might be precious about this because it's lovely and it smells great too. Now, moving on. Business elements. Yeah, I've done a load of work on the website this week. I've added a couple of blog posts. I've changed a few bits around. There's a page for Turner's Journey and that kind of thing. But I've also introduced a newsletter, or rather changed the newsletter I did have to being one about wood turning. It was originally pyrography, but nothing much is happening with that. So I've changed it to wood turning. So any turners out there, or anybody interested in wood turning and the products that I produce and the blanks that I have, etc., etc., will receive regular updates, special offers, competitions and giveaways, that sort of thing, and they will be exclusive for the newsletter subscribers, but also I'll be doing some giveaways and stuff through Turner's Journey too. Yeah, so if you're interested in getting the newsletter, you don't get bombarded. I don't do that, I hate spam. But yeah, head on over to saban-smith.com and there's a newsletter sign up on the right hand side. Also, next week I'll be getting a new lathe. I say new, I've borrowed it. It's a Myford Maestro multi-speed or variable speed three-phase lathe, which we need a new inverter for, but anyway, that's another story and I'll talk to you about that next week, or maybe in the week, I don't know yet. Yeah, income streams. Any business needs an income stream, and small independent single sole trader people like me need probably various income streams, and obviously sales of objects, sales of the items that I make are really important. So there'll be possibly some internet sales or some selling going on the internet, as well as craft markets, craft fairs, weekend county shows, that kind of thing. So I've been thinking about those, and I'll keep you up to date with how those sales go as and when we get into those kind of markets. Workshops and tuition is something else I've been thinking about. Now, you already know that I do pen turning workshops, and the ones that I've done so far have been really successful and brilliantly received. I'm going to do a marketing video about the pen turning workshops. One of the people that came in the other week, I've invited back to turn a free pen in exchange for filming the workshop and producing it into a marketing video for that, to help promote it across social media and YouTube and the website, that kind of thing. And tuition. Now, I keep workshops and tuition separate because they are, in my eyes, two very separate things. Tuition goes into much more depth about tool use, workshop, how to work a workshop, safety measures, that kind of thing. Whereas workshops, it's just put your face shield on, this is how you hold the tool, I'll show you how to do it, Whereas with tuition you spend more time on each of the individual techniques, that kind of thing. Demonstrations. I've mentioned demonstrations a couple of times, and Alan Simpson over in Ireland has suggested something similar, to become a bit of a sought after club demonstrator, that sort of thing. But also I'll be able to demonstrate at county shows, that sort of thing, possibly some Christmas markets as well, that'll be good. And yeah, I had an inquiry from, I think it was the Forest of Beer Woodturners Club down near Portsmouth. They've asked if I'd be interested in going to give a demonstration, and yes, I would. So if you're watching, I think it was John that rang, John or David, sorry, I forget, I haven't made a note, sorry. Yes, I'll be very, very interested in coming down and doing a demonstration for you. And likewise, if anybody else in the UK has a club that they'd like me to come and have a chat at, then I'll be very, very happy to. I can combine it with a little chat about Turner's Journey, if you like, and give a chat about what it's like to become a full-time turner. Again, back onto sales, I've got a huge amount of wood kicking around outside that I need to turn into blanks, and it'll keep me busy turning myself for a long, long time to come. So some of the blanks that I cut will also go up for sale. They'll probably go onto eBay and or the website, but they'll need to be home dried because obviously these are pretty wet at the moment. But yeah, there'll be details about that on the website and also eBay or wherever. And yeah, that's pen blanks, bowl blanks, platter blanks, probably some spindles. Some of the cypress I've got out there would make some amazingly beautifully straight spindles. And finally, on the income stream, YouTube. YouTube is a small income stream. It's going to slightly grow the more subscribers I get and stuff, but there is a small income that comes from YouTube, because every time one of you guys clicks on an advert in the video or around the video, I get a few pence or a few cents if you're in the States or Canada or Australia, whatever. Yeah, so I get a little bit of income through YouTube, but it also serves as a marketing tool as well. But I'll come on to marketing and how I'm going to be approaching marketing in a future video. But I do need to reassure you that you guys as subscribers are not going to be bombarded with sales patter from me saying, oh yeah, I've got this new bowl blank, I cut this blank this week, you can buy it on my website, it's 20 quid. No, I'm not into that kind of thing. You guys are watching the videos about how I become a professional turner, not for me to sell to you. Although I will obviously say occasionally, oh yeah, I've got some of these blanks for sale on my website, but that is about as much as you're going to get sales wise, because this isn't purely marketing. This is just purely to say I want to become a full-time turner and this is how I'm going about it, and you guys are kind enough to subscribe, and I don't see why I should be selling to you all the time, so you won't get loads and loads of sales patter from me. And also, yeah, I was thinking about Patreon as well. Carl Jacobson is a member of Patreon, and he makes a few dollars each month, but I'm not entirely certain how it works, or how it works for him. I've sent him an email and hopefully he'll get back to me at some point about how he feels Patreon is going for him. It's been a couple of days yet, but he's a busy chap, so hopefully he'll come back to me, and I'll decide then whether it's worth taking a punt with Patreon, and yeah, just see what happens. Yeah, next week, as I said, I've got the new lathe coming. I've got my kids coming to stay for a couple of weeks as of this afternoon. There will be Turner's Journey episode 3 next week, about what I've been doing. It will mostly be probably websitey stuff, so maybe next week will be a good idea to breach the idea of marketing and promotion and stuff like that. But for now, thanks very much indeed for watching. If you've got any comments, queries, criticisms, then please do let me know. Leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the cherry bowl. We'll take another look at the cherry bowl next weekend as well. That's it for now. Thanks very much. Bye for now.